Hi everyone, I'm back. Now what I'm going to do next is a vintage bow. We do bows and we just do like one or two little layers, but this is going to be a vintage bow. I'm going to do it to match this particular flower, and then I'm going to put this flower with the bow for sale. So you will be able to get it, and yes, it'll have been made, handmade by me. Let's get down to the project. I've got the silk thread, the flower that I'm going to match up, and here's the ribbon again. Now you do need a fair bit, so first of all I would cut, let's just have a look, we need a small ribbon first, so that's going to be enough for that one. I'll give you the rough measurements in a minute. I'm going to need some ribbon, a couple of inches longer than that. We may need to shorten these a little bit. And then you're going to need a third ribbon, a couple of inches longer than that. Just going to take out the wires in them. So if you want to do use these colours, now I think in this one with lavender, this pale blue, powder blue, and light green. I think there's other colours as well, but I can only see what's on the shelf. I do have a drawer full of them. So if you want to look for silk ribbon, or just put ribbon in the shop and all the ribbons will come up, and this is the silk one. So again, burnish the ends, and then with this one to do, haven't we? Let me nip that bit off. Like that, that's it. Okay, so we're taking the smallest one first, because that's what's going to depend, you know, let me just get the needle. Not that big one, I want a smaller needle. What did I do with it? I'm going to double thread it and double knot it. Like I said, this is going to be a vintage ribbon. Just give it a quick double knot. Now, what we're going to do is fold over. There is a right and wrong way. The duller side is the underneath. The shinier side is the top. So I just want a ribbon that big to start with. So it doesn't matter how much we overlap. That's nothing. And we're going to start and just sew a line right across the ribbons, the silk, the ribbon. Pull that in. Not much, you don't need to do too much. Let me just get rid of that. That'll do, that's all you need to do for that one. So that's your first one. And then we're going to do the next one. Well, I've got one here, I've got a picture here. Look at this. See how they just do the ribbons different to us? And look at the frills. So I keep that in front of me because it inspires me to do something different. So here, we've got that. So there's the ribbon. So let me just glue these two together. We're just going to move that at an angle. like that. So we've got like a cross, and then we just add the smaller one to that, going straight like that. And then what I'm going to do with this one is, when I can get the glue off my thumb and finger, is to fold this in half. And I was going to sew it, but I think I will glue it. Just put a thin layer of glue. You don't need a lot. Like that. And because I've only put a thin amount on, it's quite flexible still. And then I take hold of this, like that, pull that over the back, pull that down slightly, and that's too long, so I can now snip that. I don't need that as long as I had it. I'll seal it off. Put some glue in there, that will shut that up. Like that. And it's, because it's done that way, it's more of a vintage bow. And then of course we need to do the little bit that comes down here. But what I like to do with mine is just slightly different to anybody else. I'm only going to use a single thread. Take hold of this. How long do I want that? Well, I'm going to be gathering it, so it can be as long as I want. I just need to take the wire out, and then this side, of course. Burnish the ends, but I do have to snip them, so I'm going to put them together, fold them in half, like that, and then I'm going to snip them like that. That gets the little V in. Very carefully burnish these. Very carefully. And then what I'm going to do is to take my needle and about 1 centimetre in, do a little tacking stitch just to hold, oops, don't want that, just to hold that, and then run the stitch right up the middle. You don't need to faff about with it just yet. And then you finish about 1 centimetre away from the end. But you need the needle to go in that way. I'm just going to leave enough here. Just let me make sure I've got it gathered enough. And take that back through the other side, because the knot's going to be on that side. Like that. And then clip that. And then what you need, you lay that out a little bit. Not so much in the middle. So you can pull it down a little bit. And then you fold and bend that in the middle, like that. And we can sort all that out in a minute. Pop a bit of glue on the inside, like that. And across the back, and then you pop that onto the back of there. And it's like that. And it's just another way of doing a vintage bow. And I've got a little bit of glue on there, but I'm not fussed about that at the moment. I'm going to take that off now, like that. And glue that down so that is flat. Now, what you can do, I'm going to show you a little trick here. Right, so just put a little stream of glue going down the back where the line is that you've sewn. Turn it over and press it flat like that. It's a little trick. Let that dry. Take this one and you do exact same thing with this one. Like that. And let that dry. And it will dry on the mat. It's a non-stick mat. By the way, we do sell these non-stick mats, folks. And they're extra strong, so they're better than the normal Tim Holtz ones and things like that. Just let that dry. It's not quite dry. There we go. And that lays that flatter, see? So that's just a little tip, and that's a different one. And then what we can do is put something on the centre. But one of the things I like, well, I could use that. I want it a little bit bigger. I just love those, but it's pink. I don't really want pink on it when it's blue. See, I could do that. Let me think. Oh, just one of these. Now, we have got some earrings for sale, and I cut mine, and I'm using them like that. Now, I like that. It's not too much, although I like that for a vintage look. I'm going to use that. I just so happen to have one ready. Just glue that on. Glue that in the centre. And there's my vintage bow. Aren't they pretty? Suppose I could have pulled that down a little bit more, but never mind. I'm happy with that. That will go on a project somewhere. If I wanted it to go on a project. And the back of that, we just cut a piece of felt. To sit on the back of it. I'm just going to shape it, to be honest. Like that. And then it can have a pin, or, you know, if I wanted to put it on a pin or something. I'm not going to. It'll get sold as is. It's just to protect that and add a pin to it if somebody wants to do that. And there you go, a Victorian bow. Well, I hope that's helpful. As you can see, it's a gorgeous bow. A nice vintage Victorian bow. Hope you can see that. And they're easy to do, and that's just a little tip about putting the glue down the back. Like I say, when it's on a project, look, you can't see. So I hope that's helpful. And I'll be back tomorrow with some more videos. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye for now.